welcome back to the show number 110. I apologize. Well, okay, no, I never apologize. We should probably start by saying that. Do you ever say you're sorry?
Sometimes, but depends for my active. Depends what I do. Sometimes it's like, no.
I don't apologize. So you didn't get an episode for about 2 months, but I'm back. So there's no need to be sorry about that. And I know a few people are going to laugh at that because
they're probably waiting.
Yeah.
What's going on?
If anyone's waiting for an apology from me, like maybe my wife will get one. Maybe. But no, I'm back. Show number 110. Before we get started, I want to let everyone know, don't forget to subscribe to us on your favorite podcasting app. I'm on all of them, I believe. Spotify, Apple Podcast, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and I'm on YouTube. So give it a go. And our sponsor, the first one we'll do is Rancho Bravo Tacos. Do you like tacos?
I love tacos.
So Rancho Bravo Tacos is on Capitol Hill. They're on the corner of Broadway, of 10th and Pine on Capitol Hill, and then on 45th and University in Wallingford. And man, just good street tacos. So go pick up, and they have $6 margaritas, which are pretty good.
Interesting.
So that on a hot day, go sit out on the patio. And then Capitol Hill is so interesting. There's nothing better than looking at people being weird while you're enjoying some good food. And then something new that I'm going to do here is, trying to support the homies.
All right.
Always try to support the homies. I'm wearing the Only the Brave.
Only the Brave brand right there.
Yeah, we'll put a link to Only the Brave. It is man, you know what? I have trouble saying Sadaya's name. Saida.
Because it's written different.
Yeah, I want to say Sadaya.
Yeah, it's written weird, but it's pronounced Saida. Yes, everybody has problems. They say don't feel bad. It is. Everybody's like shut. Saida.
Got it. So a friend of the show, Jose Cervantes, his wife has a brand called Only the Brave, and she's putting out some really good shirts. I love this shirt. And also, I have a friend who is an author, and he has a website. It's written by K.L. Young. I'll put a link to it. He likes to write about horror and sci-fi. He's a big fan of H.P. Lovecraft, so some of them are H.P. Lovecraft-esque. But go to his website. He has, what is he calls them lost manuscripts, where he would write stories, and he's written for years and years, and then he's put them all together and then published them and they're on his Amazon store. So I'll put a link to that. This is one of his latest ones called Infernal Combustion.
Let me check that out.
But he has quite a few. So go and check him out. I didn't tell him that I was going to do this, so hopefully he's all right with it.
Exposure, baby. Come on now.
Yeah, he'll be all right with it. Yeah. So go, and then it's just my show is about Seattle area people. So I'm almost everyone that I've spoken to is a Seattle person. There's just been a few of them that I've done that weren't Seattle focused, but I like to talk to athletes and business people and artists who are all from this area. So this is continuing along in that spirit. So go check him out. But today I have another entrepreneur on, and I love talking to entrepreneurs because the conversations can go so many different ways, but the points and the lessons that you learn and the things that you can share can be shared across lots of aspects of life, not just in building a brand or going it. So I love having these conversations. And before we started, we had quite the conversation about sports, and again, that can go super deep into what you're doing with the brand. But JC, welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for the invite. I'm excited.
Man,
seen a couple of your podcasts, having my brother out here. I was like, man, I want to go over there too.
Tell us. I mean, I've seen, you've done a few. You've been on quite a few podcasts.
Yeah.
And, the ones that I've seen, it's like it's a proper studio. It's like a proper recording studio.
Yeah.
So let's start with just give us a rundown of yourself and your brand and what you're trying to do with the brand.
Okay. So I'm JC. I was born in California, in Paramount, California. But at a young age, I think we were like, I don't know, I want to say like 2 years old or something. Came to White Center, grew up in White Center, and then started moving to Buren and started heading to Des Moines and kept going south and south. So I have a brand, it's called Washington brand. You guys can find it on Instagram and Facebook. I started that brand. I always liked having my own, I wouldn't say style, but I always been an artist person. I love drawing and been an artistic person. I used to, tag, and that's why a lot of people, they're like your urban style of clothing and your hats, and that's because of that aspect. I like drawing and used to tag and all that.
So your textbooks in school were all marked up
all the time, man. It was crazy because I was always drawing, and also I write music. So whether I was writing music or I was drawing, and I think the job I had I had a job in high school in Renton. It was kind of a calling center. So I think that really just pushed everything, because while I was calling people, they give you a bunch of numbers you got to call.
Yeah.
And a lot of those numbers already know you're calling, so you have to call, and then they're not answering. So as I'm waiting for the call, I'm drawing, I'm coming up with designs and logos or writing music. And man, I stacked a bunch of them. And
what kind of music?
I write Spanish music, Mexican music.
Okay.
Yeah. So it started kind of more of like freestyling, I guess I want to say. And then I put it together in Spanish and Mexican music. And then I was like, man, that works too. I was like, what? And then from there, I have more than 40 songs out there with different artists, local artists.
Okay. That was one of the questions that I was going to have is as I was going through your feed, I saw lots of musical groups, norteños.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of that, and I was wondering, does he, what's the connection here other than just promoting these guys? So you've written songs and they've recorded them.
They recorded some
awesome.
songs. So a lot of them have recorded my songs, and so it's just a connection with that, them playing my music, recording my music, but also the brand, like, man, we can play your music and we can also, rock your brand. I'm like, it goes both ways, but I mean, you expose my music and then you expose my my brand, because, at the end of the day, they go play somewhere and they always end up going to kickbacks, right? And they always ask them, where you get that shirt? And it works both ways. Ooh, that song goes hard. Who wrote that? And then I get clientele for merch and for music.
Man, that is perfect synergy right there.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So, I mean, I had another guest, a year ago, maybe over a year ago. His name was Nichols, Damian Nichols. He has a brand and he puts merch tables at festivals. Is there anything like that for Mexican music? Like, I don't even know what the main Mexican venue is here.
It's called jaripeos, which is like rodeos.
Yeah. Where is that?
You have a bunch of them out there. I mean, you have, you sometimes have them in like Eastern Washington. There's a lot of them out there.
It's not a place called Jaripeos.
It's just
jaripeo.
Yeah, it's a jaripeo. It's like, where are you going to jaripeo? It's more of a kind of like a rodeo with Mexican bands, and then you got all your stands with food and stuff like that. Yeah, they do. They have a lot of them out here. A lot of them.
Oh man, those are fun to go to.
Yeah, they are, because you're not just listening to music, right? there's actually a buddy of mine. Shout out to Promociones Nayarit. They do a lot of events like that where they got bowls.
Yeah.
Then you can watch that for a little bit, or you can go to the where the bands are playing, right? And then if you're done with that, then you can go to the beer garden. If you're done with that, then you can go by, go pass by all the little
that's
tents
fun.
where they're selling a bunch of stuff, cowboy boots or, you name it, whatever. Yeah. They have them a lot.
Yeah,
Usually
they
usually it's every week in Monroe.
that often.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's like every other week, man. Yeah.
I told the other day, I was looking at one of Jose's stories, and he was he was, and I miss this. This is the thing. So I grew up just outside of Chicago, and in a town called Aurora, and Aurora was over 50% Mexican. And I lived in the Mexican part, and every job that I had before I was 24 was primarily Mexican. And for the last 5-6 years that I was in Illinois, my best friend was a Chilango, and big family. And every week it was either a bautismo, a cumpleaños, it was a quinceañera. Like every weekend it was something that, and he would be like, "Hey, Carlos, ven a la casa," and I would go and then just have fun. The cliche where how many Mexicans can you fit in a 1-bedroom apartment? Like a lot.
A lot. You'll find ways to fit people.
Well, it's kind of funny. One of the last New Year's that I spent in Illinois, I went to my buddies for New Year's, and my wife was was with me, and she's white, and we go to my buddy's house, and he was on the upstairs apartment, and the apartment was one, maybe 2 bedrooms, but they managed to fit in like 6 banquet tables, and there were easily 25-30 people in this apartment, and she had a little bit of culture shock. Yeah. And it was normal. Of course it was normal for me, but it was she probably was a little bit uncomfortable, but she hung in there. And she learned the tradition of doing grapes for New Year's. And so fast forward to now, and I don't have that anymore, and I do miss it. I do miss that type of atmosphere. And I don't like the word. I don't like how the word culture is used nowadays. I not to get too much into the weeds here, but I do like that part. I do miss that part of just like what family is. Yeah. And I was looking at Jose's story, and there was something, and I sent him a message, and I said, "No invitas a nada," and it's like I want to tell him, I'm trying to hang out with more Mexican people. Help me out here, because you're one of the few that I know.
Well, we're gonna have to invite you, brother. Oh yeah, and like you said, it's funny because, we'll be like, oh, next weekend it's Woody Woo's birthday, and then Sunday Woody Woo's birthday. Okay, we gotta go get presents. Then the next week, I'm like, do we ever get a break?
No.
Do we ever get a break? And it's true though. There's always something.
There's always something.
And in Mexico we have a big family, so it was more family. Like every weekend there's like something going on in somebody's house, but once a month all the family will get together and hang out and just party. But every weekend there was something. But here, the family's not as big as Mexico, so we hang out with our families and do this, and you got a bunch of friends too. So it's like now it's the daughter's birthday or the son's birthday. Now it's his birthday. Now there's always something though, and I try to make it to all of them, but sometimes the schedule and what we go through is just like it's not happening.
No, but I mean, just to know you, just appreciate all of. My mom's family is pretty big, and we only hung out a little bit with my dad's family. Yeah, my dad's family. They were back in Aurora, they were the more what's the good word? They were the trouble. And but all of my mom's family was in Mexico. There was only a few of them here in the US. But in Mexico, when we would spend time down there, it was just like 50, 60 people at the house all the time.
Yeah.
When I was 25 or 27, another cousin and I were counting all of our cousins.
Yeah.
And there were about 60. There were about 60 cousins that were all within 3 years of each other. So early 20s to mid 20s. And then now all of those are grandparents now. They had kids, and then they ask me on occasion, it's like, isn't it lonely up there? Because I'm all by myself. And I say no. I said, luckily, for the most part, I am okay with having a really small circle.
Yeah.
But it's just every now and then that I feel like it would be nice if I had the option to.
Yeah.
And then and so I need to be more proactive about that stuff.
We're gonna get you, man. We're gonna get you some. We're gonna go some parties, get some reunions. Whenever we'll watch fights or something, come on over. We'll get something going.
That's the thing. I love fights, and even just by the time this show is posted, I'm gonna have a few people over tomorrow for the Crawford fight.
Yeah.
And
what you think about that?
I got Bud.
You got Bud?
I'm gonna put big money on Bud.
On the casino.
From an app.
Oh, an app.
I use this app called betonline.ag.
So, see, I got a question. So you used it. There is maybe the apps that I've tried. Once you put your address, right? Because they ask and they know you're from Washington, it says it's not legal. Is it certain apps
I'm
that
sorry.
does not let you? Because I've used. Man, I can't.
Yeah.
The really common ones that pop up on DraftKings. I've used another one that they promote on UFC.
Caesars.
And then it does.
No, it's not an app. It's a website. So
website
yeah.
or whatever.
Well, so they don't control the websites like they do an app. But app's correct. You can't use DraftKings
on the app.
But
I could use it on a website.
You could use a website. So go to...
Because I was told, don't bet, because if you win, they won't transfer your money because you're from Washington.
No.
Okay, so that's a lie.
Yeah, you'll get your money. Because do they even ask for your address?
No, they ask. I mean, they ask from like where you live. Of course, you put your bank account information.
Yeah, they ask for the bank account.
And I've DraftKings, and I've used a few other ones. And once I put that Washington... right away they say, no, it's not legal in your state. Yeah. So I just end up looking it up online kind of to see what it is, because if you call it casino, they kind of don't tell you what the odds are that you have to come in. I'm like, I got to drive over there.
I'll send you a link to sign up. And if you sign up and then make a deposit, I get a credit. But I've been using this for 3 years.
Oh, okay. So then, all right.
So it's just a website.
Bet online. All right.
Yeah, it's just the website. So when I go and put when I go and make my bets, it's not an app. It's just the website.
It's a website. Okay, perfect.
And it's it's
so if you've won and they have transfer your money. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well then, right on. Send it over, bud.
Yeah. I mean, I'll send that over. But I think Bud.
Yeah, I mean, I like both, but I think Bud is just a little more, has more skills overall, and I think he's probably gonna take it. And with Pitbull and what's his name? Is it Cabrera?
Gio Cabrera.
Yeah. That one is going to be interesting. I like both fighters. They're really good. I mean, the other guy is tall and has more reach, man. I don't know how's that one going to turn out.
Who is Gio fighting?
Pitbull.
So
it's the one that fought Gervonta Davis, Gamboa. He fought. Okay, yep. A little short guy. He's pretty short.
Well, Gio's from Chicago. but he fought his first few fights here. And
When you say here,
yeah, at the Emerald Queen.
really?
Yeah. Oh, I saw him fight two times. The last time that I saw him fight, he fought a local guy named Jeremy McCleary. Mm-hmm. And Jeremy was supposed to be a good. And Gio just beat the crap out of him. I mean, you rarely see bloody fights at the Emerald Queen.
Yeah.
He turned him into a bloody mess.
Wow, damn, I didn't know that.
Crap out of him. And I'm not friends with Jeremy, but he would hang around. He would go to the gym where I used to hang around every now and then. Mm-hmm. So we were kind of friendly, and his dad was friendly, and his mom, because I think his dad was his trainer or second trainer. So a little bit friendly, and to see him get just massacred, it hurt a little bit. It's like, oh man, this guy got the, and I think that was Jeremy's last fight.
Ooh.
So yeah, and I think I got to see him fight before that too. So yeah, when the other day when I was looking at the undercard, I'm like, oh, I remember this guy. I'm like, that's pretty cool. He's gotten to the
he's got
co-main from a huge. I mean, this is a huge fight.
Yeah.
I'm not. I haven't bought too many boxing pay-per-views, just because I don't like how. And Jose and I had a discussion over this. I just don't like where boxing's gone the last 3 years.
Yeah.
I'm turned into a full UFC fan. I've bought almost every UFC pay-per-view, and they have a really good fight on Saturday too.
On Saturday too.
They have Gaethje versus Poirier, and I'm like, man. I told my wife, this is why I need two 85-inch TVs.
I know, bro. And you know what bothers me sometimes? These apps, right? That you buy the app, then now you got to buy the plus, ESPN. Then you got ESPN
you still
Plus.
Gotta do the
you still got to do the pay-per-view, in which, all right, bro, why is it, can it just be one link or something? Why does it have to be all this trouble?
I'm okay with the ESPN because ESPN doesn't own UFC, so they're separate companies. But what's bothered me is DAZN, where DAZN you pay per month, but they have their own pay-per-views, and that's garbage because they're themselves.
Yeah.
So they're saying, okay, your monthly premium is only going to give you crappy stuff, but when something good comes on, then like I haven't bought a Canelo pay-per-view in a long time. Like to me, the Canelo, like I'm sort of over Canelo.
Yeah.
I'm more willing to see these younger guys like Spence and Crawford. I bought Garcia Davis just more out of curiosity.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that I was going for Gervonta.
Yeah.
I hate Ryan Garcia.
I don't like Ryan. I mean, everybody has their own opinion, I guess, and
well, if they like Ryan Garcia, they're wrong.
I don't. I mean, he's a good guy, but boxing wise, I just don't like him. I really like Gervonta Davis. I think he's really good, and I knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And you know what? I went to the casino, right? Me and Jose, we went to go bet, and I swear I had for round number 7, and I was like, I had, because you start putting your bets, right? And then you have them there, and then the last screen is like, you got all your bets, and I started looking through them, like, oh, boom, boom, boom. Well, I had chose my bets, and my last one was round 7, and I'm like, nope, and I took it out. I could have got some good money, man.
See, I try not to do that. If once I get going or think something, what I do though is if I second guess myself, I just cut the bet in half. But I mean, when I say I bet, I only bet $5 per bet. That's as much as like maybe 2 or 3 times I've bet $10 and I've lost, and I get so angry. I get so mad at myself when I lose $10 at a go.
Yeah.
All of 95% of my bets are $5.
Yeah.
So when I say I'm going to bet big on Bud, it's like maybe $7.50.
I thought you were talking like maybe $2,000, $3,000 or something.
No freaking way.
So you could actually bet that certain amount?
$5 is the smallest.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, dude. Yeah, the other apps that I was looking, I think it's like 25 minimum.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
That's hilarious. You said I'm gonna go big. I was like, I didn't want to say how much. I was like, man, he's about to put like $2,000, $3,000 or something.
No freaking way.
He's going all out.
I've made so many people not mad, but just be like, get out of here, man. I used to hang around with these guys who were big, you know, everything blinged out. And we would talk about that. I'm like, man, I'm going to go big. And then like the first few times they didn't ask me details.
Yeah.
But there was one UFC card where after like 4 bets, I was up like $60 because I hit on a couple underdogs. Mm-hmm. So the next time when I saw them, I started bragging. I'm like, I hit big last night. And then they're like, who you got? And they're like, how much did you win? I was like, $60. And then you could just imagine the looks that they gave me. They're like, they're like, you've been telling me that all this time you talk about big money. I'm like, yeah. It's like, I bet $10 on this one. Yeah, I do not like losing money on gambling.
No. I don't. I always been the type of individual that I watch what I spend my money on. I'm not stingy. I just watch what I spend my money on. Hardworking money. I don't want to just throw it away.
Yeah,
I'd rather buy beer than go spend it on stuff like that, right?
Exactly.
It's people like, well, it's beer. Well, yeah, but that's just gets tossed like that. Yeah. Like at least I get buzzed off drinking my own beer, something. But yeah, I don't like going. I don't like betting a lot like that either. Maybe $100, $200. Depends. Sometimes if I really have a good feeling, then I might go 300. But I just it's not every fight though. It's like certain fights. Like I'm gonna go put some money on this. I think, but I mean, I got friends that it don't matter if they're famous or not. I'm gonna go put my dude. What the hell?
Yeah.
Do you even know this guy?
There was a period there where I would go to Vegas 2 times a year, and for like a good 6 or 7 years in a row, I would do that. And I think that across all of those Vegas trips, maybe I bet $100 across all those trips. I would find so many things to do other than gambling. I just don't like doing it. I have a sneaker obsession that needs money.
I could tell I was walking down the stairs and I was, sneakers, and then walk down and you're like, there's more there.
Yeah, those are the throw on the throwaway shoes just to put them on. Yeah, there's so many other things, but it is going to be a super good fight.
Yes, it's going to be a very, very, very interesting fight. It's going to be one hell of a fight, and also the UFC fights. I mean, it sucks because sometimes it's like I'm watching on my TV, right, and somebody told me that you could split your TV. Now the TVs nowadays you could split half, but every time I try to do that, it's too late. The fight's already happening. I'm not going to miss it.
Yeah.
So I got my phone watching, vice versa. If I think the UFC fights is more interesting to what the fight I'm watching, then I switched it.
Yeah.
I switch it, and then I'm just watching, going back and forth. Yeah. But this time, I'm going to try that. I mean, I looked it up. My LG TV is able to do that.
It does the picture-in-picture?
Yeah, so I'm able to do it. But I'm going to see how it's going to look, because now that you split it this way.
It's going to be small.
Yeah. And I bought I think it's a 86 or 80. It's a really big TV for the same reason, so I can see it big.
So in essence, what you'll be looking at is 2 20-inch TVs. So smaller than that. A lot smaller than that.
I'm gonna have to try it going home and put something. See, because if it splits this way, now it's gonna be.
Yeah, I don't think it splits that way.
So it splits in half this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I might
It
not
could
even
be.
try it then.
Or it might not even split at all. It might just be
It's like zoomed in or something.
it might just be your main picture with another picture on top of it. Because that's how picture in picture used to work. I don't know. I think that you should just tell your wife, you know what? I considered all the options, and the best solution for my problem and to give us the best total enjoyment with time with friends and family is to get two 85-inch TVs.
Yeah.
So I'm going to video only. I'll be right back.
You know what? I seen one of a video. They had it at a bar. They actually had like, I don't know, I want to say like 20-some inch TVs. They put 4 together and 4 together and had 2 different fights going.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's kind of nice. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can do
How do you transfer the picture in all of those though?
I believe it's with a computer. I believe.
Yeah, because they had all the TVs together, and you could tell there were all 4 TVs, but it looked pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'm like, whoa. From far away, I thought it was tape splitting. I'm like, why do they have tape?
No, yeah.
Then I started getting close on, that is actually 4 TVs. That's dope.
Going to those video only or to even to Best Buy, I don't even go anymore just because I used to go just to look. But it's dangerous.
Oh
man.
no, you don't want to do that. I do that with those stores or Home Depot. I'm a construction worker, so I find I could buy this and build this. No, I try to stay away from all that, bro. Seriously, unless I really have to, I go. Other than that window shopping or let's just go look because I got nothing else to do. It turns out ugly. No, it's just even like the malls. I do not go to malls for the same reason.
I hate malls.
Just the fact that there's a lot of people. And, my wife likes shopping around and you go because I go to the store and bam, whatever store is closest as I'm walking, I like those pair of jeans and let's go, let's get out. Boom. It's just, I don't even buy stuff. My wife buys it for me. So, but I stay away from the malls because it doesn't turn out good every time.
That's a very man thing to do. And it's so funny. The other day, last week, I told my wife, I need underwear. And then she goes, didn't you just get some? I said, no. I said, the underwear that I have is because you bought them for me probably 5 or 6 years ago. And she just gave me a disgusted look. She was so disgusted. She's like, you're still wearing those? I was like, yeah. It was like, they're fine.
Yeah.
And then I was doing laundry and I was folding my clothes and then I was inspecting a pair of underpants that I did have. And I just started and then she's talking to me and I just started to laugh. And then she goes, what are you laughing at? She goes, because I'm looking at my underwear and saying, you know what? The holes in these aren't too bad. They still have some miles left in them. I just folded them and put it in my drawer. It's like, that's something that girls don't do.
Bro, those are backups. Those are backups, my boy. Somehow, for some reason, laundry didn't go through. I got the backups. Those are backups. I do not throw those away. Don't throw those away, fellas.
I wonder what do single guys do? Well, no, if you're single, you have to have.
You got to have all that, man.
You got to do it for yourself.
I mean, I'm sure they have like fucking 40 of them.
Yeah.
Make sure the laundry gets up to the point like, all right, it's about time.
And they're probably like name brand.
Yeah.
Like, some underpants cost like $40.
Yeah.
Like, that's too much.
No.
Yeah, that's...
No, my wife, it's funny because what you said, my wife, she's like, sometimes I start noticing that I don't have enough, right? It's like, why do I have only 4? What the hell is going on? Well, then she just throws them away. Like, why would you do that? Well, they were too saggy, a little hole. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. And then she buys more. I'm like, there's no need for that.
That's so funny.
They were black. Now they're gray. It don't matter. I'm not showing them anywhere.
That is one of the key reasons to get married, guys. It's like, you don't have to worry about that.
No.
You either going to have a proactive wife like you or like yours, which will, throw them away as needed. Or a wife like mine, where if I mention that I need some, then she'll get some for me because she got some for me the next day. And I was like, perfect. And then she goes, oh, but, are they going to fit right? I was like, they're fine.
Yeah.
They're they're fine.
Yeah.
No one will know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine. It's like you're the only person who's going to see these, other than if I bend over or something.
Yeah, my wife would be saying, "What color are you looking for? It don't matter.
Right. As long as
these
it's not
cost $3 for. Hey, don't just buy them. I don't care what price they are. I'm not showing them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not showing them."
A while ago, though, I did do something stupid, and I bought some Supreme boxers. They were a pack of 3 for $65, and then they're the worst underpants. I mean, I still use them, but they're the worst. They're the absolute worst, and I'll never buy designer underpants again. Well, it's not even designer because they're just Hanes with the Supreme.
Yeah.
With the Supreme band. This
Logo.
is turned into an underwear talk. But it just made me laugh so much that I don't think women do that. Ask your wife how many people she knows, how many girls she knows that inspect, and if it's like 3 holes or more, then they toss them.
Yeah, what's the tolerance?
It's like
maybe a hole, 2, 3, I don't know, or how big.
This is purely a man thing.
I remember one time, finishing this underwear topic, I guess, I rip a big hole so you could see the whole butt. And then my wife was washing. She sent me a picture. She's like, there is no way you're wearing this. How long have you been wearing it? I was like, I wear them a couple of times. She's like, what? Okay. No, I'm throwing those away. You're showing the butt. I'm not showing the butt. It's covered, but it helps in the summer. Hey, she's like, no.
Yeah. You get that? He keeps you cool.
You had to put the legs through there because you couldn't just put them on. You had to fish the legs inside the boxer. They had a hole about this big, but then I ripped the whole butt. Yeah. And now it's just, I think she washed him a couple of times and didn't realize until she started folding them one time or so. I don't know, but she's like, there ain't no way you're wearing these. Like, yeah, I am.
This is not the man I married.
It changes with time, man.
Nuts, man. Even when you mentioned the hardware store, my wife and I had previously just lived in condos. We owned a few condos before this, but we now have a home. And we've been here for a year and a half now. But last year, I fell in love with McClendon's.
McClendon's a good store.
And I love that store. I won't go to the grocery store. I hate going to the grocery store. I hate the mall. But if there is absolutely anything that I need that is at McClendon's, I'm right there. I'll go.
Yeah.
Like, don't even think twice about it. And then I can just sit there and look around, and I just, I as I'm checking out, I tell them, I say, I'm a McClendon's card member. Make sure to put my purchase on my account. They're like, okay. It's like I'm very proactive about that. And it's just been the best. Like, I've gone full homeowner. Afterwards, I'll show you. Yesterday, a crew came in and dug out all of my backyard.
I've seen videos. There's a lot of work going on in the back.
Yeah, they came in. Before that, I put in a gravel patio. Then I built a pergola. I built a flower bed. And then as you can imagine, there was a bunch of tractors, a bunch of equipment had been going back and forth on the grass, and it was gone.
Yeah. So
I had a nice gravel patio area, and then we're just sitting out there and we see this just nasty grass. So I'm like, all right, fine. So they came out yesterday and did a bunch of work, dug it all out, seeded, put peat moss, and now in a few weeks I'm gonna have a nice lawn. I'm so excited for this lawn.
I know. It things that didn't really excite you before. It does now. Grass. Same here, dude. I work on my grass all the time, looking on YouTube what to make it more green or what to weeds. I mean, my grass, when I moved to my home, it was about 3 years ago, it was all weeds. All weeds. I mean, there's only 4 houses in my block. it was all weeds, and nobody was taking care of them, and it was horrible. The soil was rocky, it was hard, so it was very, very hard for grass to grow.
Yeah.
And then same thing, I moved in there, and I'm like, all right, first thing is first, I gotta fix this grass. I can't come in here and looking at this grass like this, and I
It's
killed
depressing.
it. Yeah, it's just the vibe, bro.
I mean, but
the
here's-
vibe. Like, you look at your backyard and you can't even drink a beer with looking at your yard like that. I'm like,
And actually, this is a good sort of segue to talk about the business and how you've grown it. And so, if you have, I don't even want to use the word pride, but if you are in a home, it doesn't have to be the most beautiful home, but if it doesn't bother you that there's trash everywhere, and that you're in a dirty area, and you don't have that motivation to go and clean, pick up the garbage from your front yard, that is a sad existence, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And, we see kind of the same, like, that's a pretty common trait amongst individuals who have a whole bunch of other problems.
Yeah.
Where, where they just are comfortable sitting in their living room watching TV with just trash around them, or things that you can easily clean.
Yeah.
Like, that's what, that's one of the things that I look at when I see news reports about, anything, where it's like, sweep, clean it up. And, the individuals who can see something and then it bothers them and then they do something about it, that has to carry over to a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Like, I've never met a person who I've never met a person who notices things like, that don't work or are broken, fixes them, who is in a bad situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super curious. There's probably a lot of people who would disagree with me, but generally I believe if you are that type of person, then you're that way in other things too. So you're not going to be, in the poorhouse, as to say. So, you're telling me that your work, you've built a brand, you write music, and not only did you do all of those things, but you act, because, everyone can say, oh, I write stuff, or I draw, but then to push it out, to work it and promote it and share it with others, that's this whole other level of motivation that you need.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really about the passion as well, right?
Yeah.
I feel like, anybody can build a brand. I think everybody can.
It's the easiest thing in the world.
Anybody can be an entrepreneur. It's just about really the passion, what really drives you, right? I mean, for instance, you could say, hey, you're like 45 years old, you're still playing soccer, you're not that good, why are you doing it? It's the passion that keeps driving you to wake up and say, I'm going to go play on Sunday still.
Yeah.
It's that passion. So if you don't have that passion, then the work ethic then ain't gonna go nowhere. It's not gonna go nowhere. But also, a lot of people see it as money as well, right? Of course, everything's money, but then when the money's not coming in, then it starts thinking like, I don't want to do this. But then the passion, why do you do it? I mean, you got to invest, you got to put money to make money, and whatever, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Right.
So it shows, the way I do my music is registered. I get royalties for my music. I don't just write and hear it, do it. No, there's a process to it. I do it. If I'm going to do something, I want to do it the right way. Now,
exactly.
I'm not going to tell you I've done it the right way all the time because it's a learning experience.
It's a process.
It's a process.
I mean,
I didn't start with good hats right away. I started with not really good hats. I started doing it the wrong way. People were overcharging me, and then the more you start getting to it, you're like, no, this hat costs this much, the stitching costs this much, the shirts cost this much, and you start getting more involved and you start learning.
Yeah.
You didn't do it the wrong way. Maybe it was just not the right way, but you start getting better and you start perfectioning your craft.
Yeah. And you have to learn from your mistakes. and it's much easier said than done. I make mistakes all the time. I'm sort of a consultant right now, and I made mistakes early on where not being clear because I wanted to be nice. But human nature is, human nature is, I'm always going to ask for more. And if the person you're asking it from continues to give, then it's expected. But then it's either going to end horribly because you're going to burn out that person, or he's not going to feel that he's being compensated enough, and he's going to raise your rates, and then he's going to be like, why are you raising my rates? And I was like, well, that's not what we agreed with in the thing. And then you have to explain why. And I'm pretty happy with myself that lately, not lately, the past few years, I've been a lot clearer with things like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say I'm not nice, but my most valuable thing is my time.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you the time that I've quoted you, and I will be honest with that. And then if things change and more things needed, then we can reassess.
Yeah.
But that's being a photographer, that's one of the things that is really hard to do, because you don't know how to price your stuff. So you just want to give everything, and it's hard, and it's learning.
And you know what? Humble beginnings. You gotta, sometimes you gotta, hey, I'm gonna hook you up with some pictures. Why? Because you're still on the learning and how to do it. So you put yourself right in a situation where, like, hey, I'm gonna hook you up. But then, like you said, people start getting used to the hookups, and then when prices change, they're like, whoa, hold on.
Yeah.
And as individual, I'm always think about helping out, but it gets to the point where, like, all right, this is the price and this is what they cost now. It's like, I got friends, they want hats for half price off, but then I have family members that pay me more for my merch.
Yeah.
So it's like, really, dude,
Man.
like, my family are paying me $50 for a hat, and you want a hat for $15, right? So I always support my friends' businesses. I got a buddy that cuts my hair. If my buddy has a shop, a mechanic shop, I go there.
Yeah.
Right? It's always been that, I got my buddy that does roof. Hey, call him up. I'm not going to call somebody else, right? I try to help out businesses all the time, small businesses. And if they're my friends, I'm going to go to them. I'm not going to go to somewhere else.
Right.
Right? But there is people, like, you got water bottles, okay? You sell them for $2.50. Then I'm going to go, no, they're too pricey, but you're going to go with somebody random that's going to sell it to you for $3 because you're mad that you didn't get it cheaper. Like, not just a water bottle, you're helping somebody's business. And sometimes it's not really just about buying. Sometimes it's just about promoting, spreading the word, wearing a hat, and just telling, hey, go follow them or whatever, right? It's not always just buy. It's about posting, spreading the word. Right. And people don't understand that.
This is what I mean about, I'm not a big fan of the word culture in general, but exactly just what you said. Like, we should help. Like, if our friends have something, I don't even ask how much. Like, if someone has something that they're selling, I just say, hey, I want one.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And it's not super huge things, they're not big expenses, but it is pretty common now that a shirt is going to be about $40 for a shirt. Hats are crazy. And luckily I have a very, very oddly shaped head, so I've never been a hat guy. Yeah. Because otherwise I would probably have tons and tons of hats. But not even asking how much it is, and then just say I want one.
Yeah.
Like, that should be the culture.
Yeah.
Because we all hear, oh, we have to be together, we have to stick together, we have to, it's every community. It's not just, the Mexican community or the Black community. It's like every community has these types of sayings, but that's how you do it, by saying I'll take it, and then not try to get it for half off, or there's a bunch of IG videos about you know, someone who doesn't know me is going to be a better customer than someone who does know me.
Oh yeah,
and it's like
and that's a very
Yeah.
true. It's a very true because I have a lot of people that buy my hats that I don't know them, and they buy every hat I drop.
yeah,
And I drop 4 hats, drop 3 shirts. Send me how much it is. I want all of them.
yeah,
They don't say, well, if I buy 4, can you give me a hookup? If I buy 3, no, send them all. And I don't know these individuals. I got to know them because they buy so much, and then I'm in the music industry, and so they, hey, come over. I invite them to the video
Yeah.
so they can rock the merge, and then that's how I meet these people. But it's just, I mean, I have buddies that wear hats that still they haven't bought a hat, and then it makes you think, okay, well, why?
If you see them with,
But then I have a random person that buys them all the time, right? And there is a saying, I think I've said this saying that a random person will become faster, it will become a client faster than a friend will become a client.
Yeah.
And it is very, very, very true. I mean, I've bought, it's just everybody's different. I've bought tamales from somebody that I didn't want tamales, but
Yeah.
just to support. I didn't like the hat, I didn't like the shirt, but it's just to support. But a lot of people don't see it that way, and a lot of people don't gotta buy it. Just share it, post it, tell people about it. That's how it is. I mean, just word of mouth can get far, believe it or not.
absolutely. And, you know, the motivation that someone needs to come up with a concept and then make it, it's like your drawings, from drawing to actual physical product. It was like, that was a lot of work. And again, if it's a homie, you just have to do it.
Yeah.
You just have to do it. And like, you know, that's why I did the shouting out to my friend here, who's the author, because he writes every single day a lot. And that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know that I've tried to write, I've tried to write stories, and after 2 paragraphs, it's like, okay, I just can't do it. My brain doesn't do it. So I admire that. I admire the ability to be able to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to write, 100 words today with about this story.
See, it's crazy because when I come up with logos, when I come up with my music, you have to feel it. Like, for instance, I can't just sit down just in a random day and say, all right, I need to come up with 5 logos, or I'm gonna write a song today. It does not work that way with me. I don't know anybody else.
Yeah.
But I have to feel it. I have to be in the mood, like, ooh, I got these crazy ideas going. Get home, tell the wife, tell kids, I'm gonna go in my room. Do not bother me.
Right.
It's on. And
The
start
creative
writing
process.
and then start drawing out and get ideas. And I got so many ideas. I screenshot ideas and write it and then start putting them together and then send them to my buddy. He's a graphic designer, puts them all together for me. I'm like, that's what I visualized.
Yeah.
Right? Because I can draw it out, but the computer stuff, I don't do the computer stuff. So I'm like, good. Mm-hmm. That's what I visualized. Sometimes I'll be locked in my room for hours, because I know if I just come out, boom, it's gone.
Yeah. But
gone.
That's the other thing that you touched on, where you might have an idea and you can do a big chunk of it, but if you need someone else to help with that, like, you should super value that person.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I've been in a collaboration where it was very, very lopsided, and the other individual might have had an idea or two, but there was no follow through, and it was expected that I would just make it. And the saying "idea man" is thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know I'm not sure if you've heard it. An idea man. It's like, oh, I'm the idea guy. I'm the idea guy. And it's like, okay, Paul Allen, co-founder of Microsoft, he was the idea guy for early Microsoft. And he actually even wrote a book, his autobiography, I think is called Idea Man. Except for the fact that, yes, he did have ideas, but he also had the skill to do them. And then, yes, it was a collaborative effort, and there was other people involved. But he didn't just sit at his desk and say, "Hey, I think that we should have the start button on the lower left-hand side," and then sit back down, and then other people would do it. It's like he also worked in it. And I think that a lot of people nowadays, they'll just say, like, I'm just the idea guy.
Yeah,
I'm the idea guy.
And
like, that's all they think that's it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, it's like, so, it's going to take some power, some effort here on your part. Not just.
Exactly.
I have
and
an idea.
It's a process. For instance, I draw something out. I have people that have come up to me like, "Hey man, look, I got this idea." I'm like, "Ooh, that's pretty good." Give him shout outs. I'm like, "Hey man, thank you. This individual helped me out, do it." And so come up with the logo. I'm not the designer. I don't create this stitching pattern for a hat. No, it's I draw it out. My boy Angel, shout out to Angel. He's the designer that comes up with all the graphic design. Then from there, we'll send it to my friend Paul. He's the one that comes up with all this stitching what the computer needs to read, right? You can't just have a logo and give it to a guy that makes hats. No, but it has to go through a process, and there's process, and they just don't. You don't see that behind the scenes, but it's part of it. It's a team effort.
Right.
I'm the face. I do most of the work, but there is people that do help me through all this process, right?
And, that's a great point too, because a lot. Yes, having ideas is a great thing, and working on stuff is great, but you also need that person who knows how things actually work. So, for example, you do stitching on this hat. Obviously, the person who knows, okay, so the hat has to fit on the sewing machine in a certain way. My sewing machine is capable of XYZ. I can do, 5-6 spools of different colors, and my stitching can be so much. And if someone comes up with this crazy idea, not necessarily crazy, but if someone comes up with an idea that physically that machine isn't capable of doing, that has to be taken into account, because otherwise you're putting all of this effort into something that you don't have the resources to do. You have to design and work and know what your abilities are, and then that's part of it, like the actual physical machine.
Exactly, and that's a really good point. For instance, when I draw, it's going to be for a shirt or for a hat, because it can't have too many details. A machine just can't execute that. You can have a really crazy design that has so many details. It's not going to catch everything. It's not going to look good.
Unless it's
a hat needs to be
huge,
simple, clean, and that's how people can see the hat. People can see this hat from far away. Oh, that's a WA or whatever, right? When it has too many details, it's very hard for the machine to execute it. And most of the times, the guy that is in front of the machine doesn't know that the machine can't execute it. That's why we go through another individual that works with that software. The machine won't be able to do that. You want 3D puff. This is 3D puff. This is flat. It could do flat. It could do 3D puff here, but it won't do all 3D puffs. So the machine can only read this amount, and you can just stitch. So whenever I turn the file to the individual, he sees it, and the machine just reads it.
Yeah.
But what about if I turn the file without him adjusting everything? He'll be like, okay, well, give it a try. No, you should know what your machine, and he knows what machines he has. What machine is he working on?
Right.
How many stitches per whatever, and it's just you just don't know until you really get involved in the process. And for instance, hats at 35, shirts at 40 or whatever. It's like, do you realize that I'm not, it's not nobody in China or in another country folding your shirt. I'm making your shirt.
I'm making it. Yeah.
Me. Your shirt I brought you today, I woke up, pull out the shirt, iron it, looked for this sign, I heat pressed it, fold it, put it in a bag. I do that.
Yeah.
I'm the one that puts the stickers. I'm the one that puts the tags, put them in the box, prints the labels. I work. I'm a father of 3 children. I come work, and the time I get to work is after 9, 10 p.m. I have to wake up at 5 in the morning to go to work. That's the time when I get to work. So if you don't value and appreciate a $40 shirt that I'm personally folding it, pressing it, making it for you, and I'm shipping it to you, it's not no random person. It ain't no company making my shirts. It's myself.
Yeah.
Then I'm probably in the wrong, dealing with wrong clientele if you can't appreciate that. Because guess what? Sometimes it's 2 a.m, man, when I go to sleep. There's so many orders sometimes that I'm like, it's going to be a late night.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because China, their labor is just so cheap, right? We all know this, child labor. There's tons of it. Your iPhone, when anyone starts talking to me about politics and they start telling me that they hate capitalism and blah, 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 but they have Apple, they have an iPhone.
Do you know where it's built?
A Mac. It's
U.S. No, it's not.
Look at the back
parts,
of it.
Some parts might be.
I think it says designed in California is what the iPhone says. But not only that, but
made is a really, really strong word.
It is.
When you make something.
If you hate capitalism so much, you are spending $1,000 on a phone, and the company that made that phone, right, Foxconn, they had to put nets around their building because people were committing suicide on a regular basis.
Yeah.
That they hated their life so much that they would go to the top and jump. So they put nets so they couldn't jump anymore. And you're going to tell me about how capitalism is horrible and you've contributed plenty to it.
Yeah.
You and your $1,000 phone and your $2,500, MacBook. So China did do that, where it made things super, super cheap. And it disconnected people from where their things came from. Back in the 50s and the 60s, you knew where your stuff came from. There was a lot more smaller stores, the stereotypical mom and pop shops. Like, you knew where everything came from. Now that things come from who knows where, we've lost that connection. And then on top of that, we have this other humongous company, Amazon, that has put all of that stuff that we don't know where it comes from, really, put it into one place, and then they bring it to your door the very next day.
Yeah.
For free. So it's this conditioning that people have where they want something cheap, but they don't care who made it, where it came from. And not only that, but then now they want it shipped to them free, so that we have, these small brands, these startup brands, where I'm going to have to charge you shipping. And I won't talk about this too much, but I started a sneaker cleaner brand. It's called the Sneakers Friend.
Okay.
And that was one of the biggest things I'm struggling with is shipping. It's like, I don't want to charge $15 shipping, but that is how much it costs to ship something.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously I do not have the Amazon buying power, nor have my own delivery people and trucks. So you're going to buy shipping. So I'm selling something for $25 and shipping it for 15. I mean, that I get it. That's a tough one.
Do you know how many conversations have ended when I say shipping? Mine is flat rate $7. But when you buy a lot of hats and shirts, people don't realize that shipping is based off weight.
Off of weight. Yeah.
So if something weighs less than 1 pound, it's going to be $7.
Yeah.
Now you buy 3 hats and 3 shorts. Now we pushed it now to $9.50, and I'm still charging you $7.
Yeah. Are you losing money on the shipping?
On the shipping, sometimes I do when it's
Yeah.
big amounts, because sometimes people are like, I want 5 shirts, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I'm just like $15. But at the end of the day, I'm like, he bought a lot of merch. It's all right.
Right.
You know, it's give and take here. It's a give and take.
It's the cost of doing business.
But, you know, it's like same thing. Like, I wish it could be free, but then I won't be making no money. But I see, the thing is that $7 for shipping, right? Well, what was the process for me to get that package shipped? Boxes are not for free.
Yeah.
The bags that put your 10 shirts you order are not for free. The labels are not for free. The tape I'm putting in the box is not for free.
Yeah.
Like, there is a value going just to charge you $7. And guess what? They charge $7 for shipping. Where's the cost for the tape, the box? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just and you can't really tell people that, because they should know.
They're just
Like, really, like, I really got to break down everything. Why am I charging you $42 for a hat? You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, man. You know, there's people that say, let me get that hat just like you, right? You were like, let me get that shirt, right? And there's people that do that, and there's a lot of people like, but why this much? Like, well, but you can go buy a hat for $55 at the mall that everybody's gonna have. There's thousands and thousands of people that are gonna have. My hats are local. A lot of people are not gonna have them because there are certain amount made.
Yeah.
Right. And I always tell people, like, the only way you could rep Washington is you got a Seahawks, Mariners, you know,
Sounders.
the Sounders, the Kraken. But then what else can you really have on that's going to rep where you're from? That's why I wanted to do, just change it a little bit, right? Have somebody else see a hat that says 206 on, oh, shoot, where did he get that hat?
Yeah.
Right? Vice versa. So I wanted to change the game on that, and for people not to really, you know, like, really value what it is, because you can go buy a Mariners hat and there's going to be thousands and thousands of that same hat in different states, you know, and this one it's not, it's going to be local. So it's just, I always found out at the beginning of starting a brand or trying to push yourself with anything that has to be locally just your own, it's always tough, because the appreciation will never will be there. And the more you work on it, the more that people will start realizing, you know. Like, I have a buddy, he's like, man, where you go to sleep so late? I'm like, you see that shirt you got on? That was me, 12 by night for you to wear it the next day. But yeah, I mean, do I want to go to sleep late? No, but is the only time I have. Once my kids go to sleep, that's when it's game on. It's
right.
10, and it sucks. I wake up tired at work, and people are like, man, do you go to sleep late or you go drinking? No, I have a brand, and I have to take care of it, and nobody else is going to do it for me. I don't have nobody reading my emails. No, the purchases. No, I got nobody else putting hats. Before, my wife used to help me a lot, but now I got 2 little twin girls that are 3 years old and need a lot of attention. So before, I used to get home and have kind of everything ready. Those are the labels there. Here are the 10, 20 boxes, the hats. You look through them. I don't want to choose the wrong one. But now I got to do all that. Yeah. So it's like, oh, labels and everything. So it's a process, man. It's a process, but it's all about passion. How do you want to do it? Do you willing to stick to it? Do you willing to have those late nights? Are you willing to push through it and say, this is what I want, and this is the only way to do it? You know, work your ass off for something that you really want, because nobody else is going to do it for you other than yourself. So as a brand, it speaks of yourself, right? How you push it, how you promote it, how you execute different things, right? It's just me. I'm always working, man. I have no time off. Sometimes I miss naps, and I do take them when I can, but I don't got time for it. I don't write as much anymore. Just the fact that I used to write a lot to have a lot of songs when people used to come ask me, hey, you got any songs? Yeah. Now I write when people ask me, just the fact I don't got the time.
Yeah.
The time is, and the more brand is growing, the less time I have. I used to meet with people for hats. I used to make a little route. Like, okay, now if I meet him in Renton, anybody around, Kent that want hats, and then I used to make a little route. But it got to the point where I can't meet with 50 people anymore. I can't do that no more. Now everything's online. Now I'm going to start doing my website. I'm working on it. But, the DM, I like it because if you really want the hat, you will DM me.
Yeah.
Right? I understand sometimes having the website is easy. I don't have to deal with anything. But then I'm actually having conversations with the customers. Hey, I don't have this hat, but I can make this, or this shirt. I don't have it. Wait for me about 2 weeks. Instead of getting an email later, a week later, out of stock, we'll let you know when we update. No, this is a direct. I'll let you know.
Yeah.
You want it? I can make it. Give me about a week. I'll DM you back. And I look through all my DMs, man. There's a lot of them, but I look through them all the time. This guy wanted this hat. Or sometimes I go through them, oh, shoot, I made these hats. And I'll go back, oh, it was him. Hey, bud, I already got the hats. You interested? Oh, yeah, send them over. So that conversation, I like that because there's a lot of things I bought or even made, bro. Made hats. Paid? Boom, a week later, we don't have the color of the hats. We'll wait. I'm like, dude, you couldn't. My number's there. Could you not call me? But maybe there's big corporation. Maybe it's a big, but I know they're not huge where they can't just tell me, do you want your money back? Or can we make it a different color? Now I got people waiting for a certain merch. Now I got to wait. Nobody wants to wait. They want it now.
I'm a systems guy. And what you just described, I'm thinking, man, we can streamline that. We can streamline that so that you can get money for stuff that you don't have, but then let the people know that it'll be a bit. Like all of that can be automated.
Yeah.
So that you
Oh yeah, right away. I mean, I will imagine, I got to meet with my cousin. He's going to show me how to run the website and everything. Like, I do not want nothing in there that I don't have, right? Like, if I have 2 left, I don't want to have it there. Because what about there's 4 people that want to buy it? Like, I'd rather just take it away and I'm able to push my brand through posts, stories, everything. That's how it works. And it's going great just by doing that. A lot of people that could be, there's people that don't want to DM people. I'm like, I get that. But, but it's easier. Yes, a website might be a little easier, but then this is how I've been able to have conversations with people and letting them know, like, hey, can I make this in this color? I don't have it. If you wait, I could. This shirt, right? You see the design of this shirt, right? Let's say I post it in a shirt. What about if somebody really wants it in a hoodie, but it's never on the website? If you DM me asking, I want that design in a hoodie, I'll make it.
Okay, but
how do you know that?
Here's my question: would you sell that hoodie for the same price as any other hoodie that's on your site? Let's say that you have a white and black hoodie,
yes,
and someone's like, I want a gray one, but you don't have it in white or you don't have it in gray.
Oh no, it's not going to be the same price because the price changes on the color.
Let's pretend that the 3 hoodies
that I only have,
let's say you have 2 of them. Someone wants it in a 3rd color, but let's pretend that they are the same price, your cost.
Yeah.
Would you sell it for the same price as the other 2 that you do have?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Yeah. But then I just hope he appreciates that. He's probably the only one rocking that. Because you know what I mean?
If I were your operations guy, I would say that can't be the same price.
Yeah.
Because not only is it taking up your time to read the message to say, hey, I want this in a gray, in a gray one, but then you're actually taking your time to turn it, to make it, right? Yeah. So unless you're going to then put that color and make it available to everyone, but if someone is getting a one-off, like that has to be at a premium.
So let me rephrase that. if I have a color specific in my storage, then yes, can make it happen. But then why would I order a blue shirt? I could order it. You're just going to have to pay more because now why would I order?
But well, hold on. But pay more because your cost is more, or pay more because they're getting something as a one-off?
Because the process of getting that shirt, I will want to say.
Let's say that it costs you $5 more for a certain color that you don't have. I would think then that you would have to sell that at a $30 markup.
Yeah.
So yes, it's costing you $5 more, but let's say that it takes you 3 hours to get this whole process done.
Yeah.
You're still then losing money because if you do that, I mean, you're not losing money, but you're making $5 an hour off of this one-off thing. So it's not like
no. That way you put it in that perspective. Yes, I will definitely sell it more. But what I've been able to do is just like I got black and white. I usually drop black, white, and then I'm gonna start switching to different colors. So now, if I have it available, then yes, I can do it. But if I got to get out of my way, just like you're saying, it's going to cost more. For sure, I'm not going to sell it to you the same price. Yeah. Ain't no way.
But the cost, what I'm saying is that it's going to cost more, not just because your materials cost are more.
No, it's because you got something that nobody has.
Yeah, because at this point, it's your time.
Everybody has a hoodie, and then they're going to wonder, what's up with that shirt?
Right. And then if it's popular, then you would consider adding it to the. I'm in super business mode right now because I have a couple clients where I'm making SWOT statements for, so strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, and it's a simple exercise where you take a business and you analyze it. What are the strengths? What are the weaknesses? What are the opportunities? What are the threats? So it just gives you a really good, it lets you know exactly where you are.
Yeah.
So I'm in that mode right now because I'm working on a couple of them, and they're going to try to make business decisions based off of them. So I'm thinking, with one of them, with one of them, you can't just say, I want to grow revenue. You can't just say that.
No.
You have to look to see where you're at, what you can do. For certain businesses, it can be add-ons or upsells. So, I mean, if you're a sneaker store, the upsell can be buy extra shoelaces, buy crease protectors, buy shoe cleaner. If you're a restaurant, it's adding sides. If you're a gym, it's selling merch or selling equipment. If you're a boxing gym, sign up. Hey, would you also like to buy a pair of gloves?
Yeah.
Would you also like to buy? So it's like thinking of it that way. So everything is, yes, people, everything is an upsell. Like businesses want more money.
Yeah.
So they're trying to offer you things. They try to think of things that they can offer you that you actually want and could use.
Yeah.
And if you're a good business person, you actually want to put value back into it and not just sell.
Exactly. And that's touching on that is just the value of what goes behind the scenes, and the value, like, man, I have not gone to the mall, but my buddy bought some hats the other day from, I believe, Lids or Hat Club or something. And they were like $60, like 50 something dollars. I'm like, I gotta step my game up there and push them, a little more. But it's just, these are made, I don't know, in a huge manufacturer that, what I'm saying, they could probably sell them for $10 and still make money.
Sure. But
now they're gone through a mall store, so now they got to up their value because where they're at. So, the price is it will never go down. It's gonna go up, right?
Do you pay any attention to the resale market for hats?
For the resale, yeah. Well, it's just I remember I went to like a hat store, right? And I showed him my product, and they were like, "Man, we're interested." So, for instance, this hat is a New Era hat. This one right here is a New Era. It's a really known brand for hats. So they were like, "Oh man, New Era," and then I got these other brands, and they were trying to get it for like super cheap. Like I wasn't gonna really be making like $2 off of it, but then I also couldn't sell the hat on my not website, but on my pages.
On your own, yeah.
So it's like, yeah, we want this, but you can't sell it. We have to be the only ones selling it. All right, so I'm making $2 and I can't sell it. And a contract, and if we don't sell them, you take them back, but you also can't sell them after a certain amount of time.
Oh, this was like a store at a mall?
Yeah, a store at a mall. And I was like,
what kind of store were they?
It was just a hat store.
Okay.
Just a hat store. And then I was like, all right, these contracts and all this stuff, I'm like, this, it's not going to work. Because why? They're going to go to your store. You're going to sell them for $60. And they're going to like, we can just go with JC for $35, $42 with shipping.
Yeah.
Right? So it doesn't, but then I wasn't able to sell those. So then they will actually have to go there. But then they were like, now we'll just wait for him to drop them later or whatever. But it's just, the resale is insane, man. The resale, like, the only way that would work for me if I'm like thousands of hats I'm giving them and they're actually making money, they're going to keep coming back. But I'm not there yet. So me giving you 80 hats is like, I'd rather just sell them myself. I'm going to make more money.
I'm going to be obnoxious and ask some unsolicited questions now. So I used to spend time at a sneaker reseller store, and that store resold hats, like old Supreme hats.
Yeah.
But those weren't real sellers. I mean, they retail, if you could get them from Supreme, they would be like $30-$40. Resale would be about 75, maybe 100. But I mean, for the last few months that I was there, they would get in hats from Hat Club. So it would be the hat with the special patch, and they were mostly baseball teams, and then with the little pin on some of them. Those would on occasion resell for $250 to $300 a hat.
Yeah.
And those hats are also sellers at sneaker conventions like Got Soul, Sneaker Con.
Yeah.
So this is where I'm going to be obnoxious, where you didn't ask me, but usually I say, I learned a lesson a long time ago from a friend, from a really good, not a long time ago, but she said, I was having trouble with something, and she said, did this person ask you for help? I said, no. And I'm like, there you go. Why are you worried about it? Well, anyway, but has that been on your radar to do those types of events, like to get a table at a sneaker con or a sneaker convention? Because, man.
You know what? There was a hat, I believe it was a hat event that happened in Seattle. It was just mostly hats and shoes. But it was just, but I got in it too late.
It was here. It was one of them was here at the Renton at the Renton Event Center, not too far from here. Mm-hmm. There's been a few here.
Yeah, and then
the reason I'm saying is because if do they still do this? Yeah, probably. So, I mean, again, it's young kids and wanting to be, they're like fit check time.
Yeah.
So it's like, what you got? And it's like, I got the hat, I got the shirt, and I got the shoes. So like that's cool. Like I'm already thinking if we do a collab, it's like your hats, this cleaner, and then a shoe, and then I've got a bunch of shoes. Do I have any blue shoes?
Dude, and when I started, a lot of jaripeos, a lot of events were like, hey, come sell your merch.
Yeah.
Come sell your merch. And I'm thankful enough for all those individuals. I'm not gonna say names. They were like, man, you don't even gotta pay your booth. Just come and
that's
sell.
awesome.
And they're like, just promote it, help us promote it. And I'm thankful for those guys. They still help me. And I started with a little table, just a little table with my hats. But then I was like, all right, it's time to move on. So now I got flags. I got my tent with my brand
Nice.
all over, so they know I'm there. I got 15-foot flags and my table with my brand in the front and sides and like a legit booth.
Yeah.
And I'm always been the top individual of your brand speaks of how it looks. So I didn't want to be on a little table.
Yeah.
Even though it was really good quality, they would just pass by and.
No, you have to be eye catching.
So I was like, I gotta do something else.
Yeah.
So then, save up my money, and it's just about investing in what you want, right? It's just boom, I put money. I gain money and I put it back. Gain money and put it back. Gain money and put it back. Yeah. Sometimes you don't see the money, but then do you realize you just ordered 3,000 hats? Now you got this, now that. That's where my money's all in stocks right now for my brand, and it sells and it sells and it sells. But I had to catch that tension. Yeah. So I went all out. I went 12 by 12 tent with, the roof like this, Washington, my logo with flags, a new nice booth. I was like, oh, hold on, I might want to stop.
Pay attention.
I might want to stop now, right? So I think that I personally think I need to do more of those type of events, go out there, because I do have the 10 and I have all the resources to be out there, but I can always make time. But man, I just be busy. But I am blessed enough to have friends that every time I go do that, they're next to me. Shout out to homie Aldo and Meras. They're always helping me out. I know I can send those guys and they'll be just fine.
Nice.
They know their prices. They know what I want. They know everything that when I'm there and like, no, dude, this is the price and we're not going any lower than this, right? And whatever, they know how to set up because they help me set up. They know how to put it together. So I think I'm going to start, not this, the summer's almost over, but I've been really, really busy on a lot of different projects. But next year, they invite me all the time out, lowrider shows, invite me to truck shows. They invite me to food stands, come sell your merch. I mean, the invites are insane that I get. And I always thank them. Thank you very much. I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
But I'm going to make time. I want to make time because, it's crazy because at the events where I'm at, right, I sell 1 or 2 or 3. But when I sell a lot, when I'm starting to put my tent away, boom, they just come, no, hold on.
Well, it's people who I've walked by a few times.
Dude, and I'm serious. Like, I sit down, right, and I always tell my buddies, I'm like, look, man, I'm here. Somebody asks for my card, just one person, good. There's one person that don't know about my business.
Yeah.
I don't even have to sell. Just that one person makes me happy. If I came and nobody really came to look, nobody asked, nobody got a card, then I failed.
Yeah.
But if just one person comes, can I get your card? That makes everything for me. Then I start selling. It makes it better. Why not? Yeah, I came here to sell. But at the same time, it's like, I don't get upset if I don't sell. I'm blessed enough that I do sell. And as most of the time when I'm taking the tent out and I got to open boxes again, all right, well, which one do you wanted?
Yeah.
And man, it doesn't fail. Every time I'm putting it away, they start seeing me taking the tent, bam.
Well, we all want what we can't have. So if you put that tent away, that means they can't have it anymore.
Yeah.
No, you're absolutely right. And, I've done a horrible job with this. And the main reason is pretty stupid because, like, I made a video of a cleaning, just a quick little sneaker cleaning. I made it and I didn't do anything with it for 2 weeks. But the reason that I didn't was because I thought, man, people are going to hate on this video, because it wasn't even, the sneaker wasn't super dirty. It's just one of those stains that if you're a sneakerhead, they bother you. And it's the one that you get on your right heel. So if you have,
that kind of dirt,
from the dirt from just, stepping on the gas from being there.
Yeah.
That's an annoying stain for sneakerheads. So that's all I did was, I called the video a quick cleaning, and I showed it. And then, I thought, man, I'm gonna get some hate on this video because the shoe's not even that dirty. And I finally posted it, and of course this was gonna happen. It got hardly any attention.
Yeah.
Not negative attention, just no attention. So then why did I wait 2 weeks? Right? There was no reason for waiting 2 weeks. So it's like we put these barriers and these fake challenges in front of us when there's no need to. No. I saw this video the other day of the caption was people inventing their own challenges, I think it is. But what it is, it's a what do they call those big
loophole?
Solar. What are they called? The windmills.
What the windmill?
They're out like in Yakima.
Oh, okay. Yes, the power ones that create the power. You're talking about the electricity.
Yeah. So it was one of those, and there was someone they were on the ground, but every now and when it turned, the shadow would turn. So the person was standing, and then when the shadow would come, he would jump over it, like pretending that it was actually something coming. Yeah. So he would just jump over it and jump over it. But the caption was people dealing with their fake challenges. It's like, obviously there's no need to jump. It's just, you're just being silly. But it's like we put these fake barriers. Well, at least I do, put these fake barriers. And then you just feel dumb afterwards saying there was no point. Yeah. And even though I'm saying this to you right now, I'm in the midst of that again, because there's this other video and I just haven't done it yet. And, when you come back next time, we'll talk a little bit more about that, because COVID affected my main business. Yeah. And Comcast a few years ago gave a $10,000 grant to small businesses that were affected by COVID. And I filled out the grant and I got it. So I turned that grant into this. So I have inventory, I have it all ready to go, but I just haven't been putting the effort into it. Yeah. And, as I say it, I should be ashamed of myself. Maybe a little, pero soy un sinvergüenza, entonces.
It happens sometimes, man. Sometimes you get to, there's a lot of things, we are humans. We have a lot of things going on sometimes, and sometimes you just don't pay attention of things that should be really being paying attention, right? Like a business, ain't nobody gonna run it for you. Ain't nobody's gonna come here, bro, post that video, bro. What's up with this hat? It's just gonna be you. And like you say, you sometimes you put obstacles. Like I just said, do I have time? No, but I could probably make time for those type of events, right? And they have helped me. I've sold, but you start getting like, I'm selling online. Why would I show up? There's a lot of people that don't run online a lot. I mean, I have met people, I'm like, what? Like, is this online? I've never heard of this. I'm like, bro, what? I've been missing out. It's just like that. Exposing yourself to another type of audience, not just online, just people walking. I mean, I've met just older Mexican dudes, right? Because I make Mexico the States, and they're like, where are you from? I'm like, here. Where's the store? I'm like, I don't have a store online. Yeah. Oh, I don't do online. Yeah. And I was like, man.
No tengo el face.
Yeah, hey, no tengo el Instagram. So I'm like, okay, I could. If you're in those boots, then you just meet a lot of people that just don't really get online. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that get online, and my thing will just maybe never pop up in their timeline, because now depends on what you see as your timeline. Yeah, because now when I was doing a lot of research on all I did was manufacture, making shirts and hats, and that's all my timeline, right? Yeah. So it depends what your timeline is. Maybe I'm never will pop up, but it's just, it's just, you can't really put obstacles on yourself. It's just about you getting it.
Yeah.
Just nobody's going to do it. You got to do it. And todo cuesta, bro. It's just a sacrifice, and you just got to go for it.
One of the things that I've we all have this, I for sure, where you can sit down and then just start scrolling, you blink and 20 minutes have passed. And I'm trying to condition myself to feel bad and tell myself, you just wasted 20 minutes on absolutely nothing. It's like maybe you sent your buddy a very inappropriate, slightly racist meme.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's like, why? You're wasting your time. And then when I say that to myself, it's like, okay, I get up, got to do something else, got to do something productive. You've got plenty to do. So it's getting yourself to that. And I have one of my clients right now. He's a retired lieutenant colonel, Green Beret Special Forces guy. And just in working with him and I do a bunch of stuff for him, and just reading everything that he writes and how he says things, it's like it's sort of seeping in. Yeah. Do you listen to anything with David Goggins? No. So he's a Navy SEAL who is big and crazy. This guy named David Goggins, he ran 8 ultra marathons 8 weeks in a row. So that's 100 miles. Jeez. He ran 100 miles every weekend for 2 months straight. So he's a super athlete, but he's hilarious. He has this one video that goes, you know what? If people are saying you're effing fat, maybe you're effing fat. Or if some people says that you're stupid, maybe you're just stupid. It's like, instead of getting pissed off, think about why they're saying that, because it just may be true. Well, anyway, so that's what this guy says. So he's not that much like him, but I've been, it's a personal accountability. It's discipline. Like, one of the things that I really struggled with was waking up. I would wake up, 6:45 or so, and then I would just lay there and then get my phone. And then, like, the first half an hour of my day, it's complete nonsense. It's wasted. And then I don't actually step down on the floor until like 7:30. So now one of the small things that I'm trying to work on with myself is when I wake up, like, get up. Yeah. Cause then it's a lot easier for you to, I put my contacts on and then I'm out the door. I leave the bedroom. Yeah. Because if I make my way back and then go lay back down,
it won't turn good.
It's over. I mean, that's just it's a double-edged sword of having a flexible schedule where I don't have to be anywhere really at any time.
And I think that's what the main thing is, to not having to be nowhere. For instance, I got to go to work. When I come from work, whether I take my son to soccer, and then my wife whether takes him to boxing, then now it's just a daily routine that I have. And now it's time to put the girls to sleep. Boom. Now, do I really upload? Do I really get to, when I don't have a lot of shippings to do, then I think about, I'm like, should I go rest because I need it, because every day is like this? Or should I work on this next video that I've been trying to do, but I just don't have enough time? And it's just, I need more time. Yeah. My life right now, I need more time to execute and do everything what I want to do. So if I don't do it 10 minutes at the time I have, and then tomorrow another 20 minutes, it just never gets done. Yeah. And it just, if I had less time, I mean, if I wasn't really involved in so many activities, I think I would probably someone like that, kind of hesitating on, well, I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. No, it's like, I got 20 minutes today. I better take those 20 minutes, because
it's the worst.
Man, time will go by, man. Time will go by. And then, like, then you realize like, damn, I didn't do nothing.
And that is the worst. Well, thank you so much for coming.
No,
I mean, we spoke about the brand, and my plan was to just do something a tad bit different than what your other to show another side of you. So
exactly,
I think that we did that in touching on the running of and dealing with and juggling and balancing. So I'm really, really happy about that. So tell everyone where to find.
So you can find my merch on Facebook, Washingtera brand. On Instagram will be Washingtera _brand. It will be on Instagram and Facebook. Website should be up, hopefully up by this next month. My cousin is sending me some updates, so hopefully it should be up. But Facebook, Instagram, that's where you can contact me. DM me for any inquiries, whatever you want. Just always DM me or comment, and then I'll get to you.
You'll pay a premium, though. Just FYI.
Change the colors, it'll cost more. No, but thank you very much, man, for giving me a chance to come and chop it up with you. And
I should play one of the songs you've written. Yeah, send me one of the songs and I'll put it in.
I'll put it on. I'll send it to you a few and on your phone out from YouTube.
Okay.
And then put the audio there a little bit or something.
Yeah. I'll put it in there. Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. There you go.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app. Don't forget to check out Rancho Bravo. Those margaritas, they're worth going for the margaritas. Mm-hmm. And then check out my buddy Kelly, my author friend Kelly. He has some great sci-fi horror-ish stories that you can buy from his website, written by klyoung.com. And I made his website, so that's probably why I'm promoting it.
And all your sneakerheads, some good stuff is coming. Just wait. It's coming. It's coming.
Do you collect anything other than hats?
No, just hats.
Just
hats. I mean, I do like shoes, but it's not my thing. I love hats.
I've been a big sneakerhead for a long time, but I'm transitioning my obsession now to watches. Ooh. Which is scary.
Ooh, they could get pricey, bro. Watch out.
I'm debating of selling half of those and then, picking up something nice.
Oh yeah. Having 2 or 3 good watches, I think that's good. But then, once it becomes a little, now you want a different color.
Man, these watches. I mean, I could drop $12K on a watch, but the ones that are really nice, they're like 50, 100 grand.
I do not see myself doing that.
Oh.
Not on a watch. I think the most expensive one, I think it was like $2 grand. I think it was, and then I was a lot younger. I would not do that when I'm right now. But yeah.
Well, for the next show, we'll talk about obsessions. All right. Thank you.
See you later.
Adios.